What if I told you the single biggest lie in modern fitness isn't genetics, isn't a slow metabolism, and it's certainly not your fault, it's your own calculator? For months, you've been doing the math. You've locked in the numbers. Calories. In. A disciplined, hard-fought 1,600. Calories. Out. A conservative 2,100, accounting for that brutal 45 minutes on the elliptical. That's a 500-calorie deficit, mathematically guaranteed to melt 1 pound of fat per week. You are diligent. You are focused. You are suffering. But when Friday rolls around and you stand on that scale, nothing. Or worse, up 0.5 pound. The deficit is a ghost. The formula is broken. The system is lying to you. You look in the mirror and you think, I am defying the laws of thermodynamics, and the frustration, that quiet, venomous rage, is what eventually makes you quit. But you're not an anomaly. You're not broken. You're just like Alex. Alex is the subject of our investigation. Every night, Alex meticulously logs the data. Every morning, Alex wonders why the effort doesn't align with the result. The laws of physics aren't failing. Your execution is failing. There are 4 invisible, insidious leaks in your system. 4 common mistakes that are stealthily zeroing out your deficit before you even finish your morning coffee. Let's expose the culprits. You rely on what you think is a serving size. You use measuring cups, the most deceptive tools in the kitchen. Alex, you see, cooked chicken breast last night. A quick dash of olive oil in the pan to stop it sticking. A dash that lasted 3 seconds. You logged 0 calories for it. But that dash of cooking oil, just the amount that coated the bottom of the skillet, was actually 1.5 tablespoons. That's 180 invisible calories. And it happened before your food even hit the plate. Think about the healthy stuff you don't track. The splash of French vanilla creamer in your coffee. 60 calories. The generous drizzle of balsamic glaze on your salad. 90 calories. The handful of almonds you ate directly out of the bag while watching TV. Untracked, 180 to 300 calories. Nobody logs the condiments, nobody logs the oils, nobody tracks the tasting, the little nibble of your kid's leftover crust, the sample at the grocery store, the spoonful of sauce you stir and lick off the spoon. The math is simple. 180 calories here, 90 there, 60 somewhere else. By the end of the day, your diligent 1,600 calorie log has ballooned into a real-world intake of 2,050 calories. Your intended 500 calorie deficit, it's now a 50 calorie surplus. And in a surplus, you don't lose fat, you gain it. The fix: you must become ruthless. You must embrace the food scale, stop measuring liquid and viscous items by volume, spoons, cups, and start measuring them by weight, grams. Weigh your cooking oil. Weigh your nut butter. If it enters your mouth, it enters the log. There is no other way to plug this leak. Lex is a saint from Monday to Friday. The deficit is perfect. Alex creates 500 calories of shortfall every single day. That's a total weekly deficit of 2,500 calories. 0.5 pound of fat burned. Good job. Now, it's Saturday. It's the moment of freedom. The moment where Alex says, I earned this. The problem isn't the cheat meal. The problem is the cheat day. The problem is the cheat weekend. Saturday night starts with a couple of glasses of wine before dinner. 300 calories. Then a huge pizza. Not 2 slices, but half the pie, with extra cheese. 1,800 calories. A late night scoop of ice cream. 350 calories. Suddenly, Alex's Saturday intake jumps from a maintenance level of 2,100 to an astronomical 4,500 calories. That's a 2,400 calorie surplus in one day. Then comes Sunday brunch, pancakes, bacon, and a sugary latte. Another 500 calorie surplus. Look at the ledger now. Monday, Friday. Deficit, minus 2,500 calories. Saturday, Sunday. Surplus, plus 2,900 calories. Net weekly. Total, plus 400 calories. Alex didn't maintain. Alex didn't lose weight. Alex gained weight and is now psychologically destroyed because the scale is up 1.5 pounds, mostly water and food volume, but Alex doesn't know that. The weekend veto is the number one cause of long-term failure. You cannot afford to spend 48 hours erasing 120 hours of disciplined work. The human body does not forgive. The fix. You don't have to be perfect, but you have to be honest about the total budget. Treat the weekend like a light maintenance day, not a massive surplus day. Save your biggest treat for a single, controlled meal, not a 2-day marathon. This mistake is the most subtle, the most fascinating, and the most involuntary. It's how your body, which believes you are entering a famine, quietly cuts energy expenditure without your permission. You track your formal exercise, but you forget about NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. This is the energy you burn just by being alive outside of formal exercise. The fidgeting, the pacing, the standing while talking, the hand gestures, the speed at which you move your laundry, the shifting in your seat. When you consistently hit a 500 calorie deficit, your deep brain sees the loss of energy as a threat. It begins to optimize for survival. Alex believes the deficit is 500 calories, but the body is fighting back. Subconsciously, Alex fidgets less. Alex waits an extra second before getting up from the couch. Alex sends a text instead of walking over to a colleague. Alex chooses the escalator, not the stairs. This NEAT collapse isn't laziness. It's a biochemical response designed to conserve energy. This subtle, unconscious slowdown can easily save the body 300 to 500 calories per day. The result? The 500 calorie deficit you planned is now an actual, miserable, starvation level 50 calorie deficit. It's too small to move the scale quickly, but just enough to cause exhaustion and hunger. You are getting all the pain with none of the gain. The fix? You have to force the movement back in. Be consciously, aggressively active. Set a timer to stand every hour. Take a 5-minute walk during every work break. Pace while you're on the phone. This is the difference between slow, agonizing failure and sustainable fat loss. Fight the stillness. You can be perfect on your calories. You can be perfect on your NEAT. But if you ignore your internal chemistry, the scale will still lie to you and you will still quit. The body is a complex system and the scale measures weight, not just fat. Let's talk about 3 hidden chemicals: cortisol, sodium, and glycogen. Cortisol, stress. You skipped sleep last night. You had a huge presentation. You were stressed out. Your adrenal glands release cortisol. Cortisol is a hormone that tells your body, we are in an emergency. One of its key jobs? To cause rapid, stubborn water retention around the midsection. You step on the scale and you're up 2 pounds. You think you failed. You didn't. Your body is just holding water like a scared sponge. Sodium. You ate a perfectly calorie-controlled meal, but it was high in salt. Salt pulls water. For every gram of carbohydrate you store, you also store about 3 grams of water. High sodium and high carb intake on top of a calorie deficit will still make the scale shoot up 2 to 5 pounds overnight. Sleep. Poor sleep elevates hunger hormones and destroys insulin sensitivity, further exacerbating the water retention cycle. When Alex is hyper-focused on the number 1600 but is only sleeping 5 hours a night and is constantly stressed about work, the entire metabolic environment is toxic. The scale is telling Alex, you are 1.5 pounds heavier. But the data is misleading. What the scale is actually reflecting is stress plus retention plus poor sleep. Fix. Attack the internal environment first. Prioritize 7 to 9 hours of sleep every night. Implement a stress management routine. When the scale jumps, pause. Ask yourself, did I sleep poorly? Am I stressed? Did I eat a salty meal? Wait 2 days, hydrate, sleep, and check again. Do not let temporary water weight spike derail permanent fat loss. The deficit is real. The science is solid. But the path to a shredded physique isn't paved with good intentions. It's paved with accurate data and unwavering consistency. Alex's true deficit was never 500 calories. Once we account for the hidden oils, mistake 1, and the neat collapse, mistake 3, that planned 500 calorie gap shrinks to a tiny, barely there 100 calorie difference. Add the weekend veto, mistake 2, and you understand why the scale is stuck. It's not that your metabolism is broken, it's that the math was always wrong. Your mission now is not to eat less, but to track better, to move more, even when your body begs you to stop, and to treat your sleep and stress like they are the most important workout of your day. Now stop thinking about the scale. Stop looking for the loophole. Start plugging the leaks.